That's awesome. Love hearing that. Thank you for sharing. And by the way, we got your notification. We're going to coordinate something with you where you can come in and do uh, sort of like a podcast with us. So we totally want to make sure you know that we are aware. We're just working on a little bit of finishing up. But by the way, the version I'm going to be showing today is it. I think we're done. We're getting this build, and I'm going to discuss a lot of things about that. By the way, is my mic good? Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure that it's coming through loud and clear. Okay, fantastic. It's going to be a great show today, guys. I'm really gonna get deep into the power, and we're going to show you some things that you may not have been aware of, and we're going to really jump into it. Oz, thank you very much. Really appreciate you saying that. A lot of people get stuck in the marketing maze of the trading view influencers and all this stuff that you guys are hearing about with OpenClaw. And it's kind of funny to me because we've been so far ahead of that game for so long. And we appreciate when people give us the feedback that you're giving. And I'm going to be talking about feedback a lot today. I'm going to share with you guys what a lot of people are saying. And yeah, okay. So ding, 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 ding. It is top of the hour, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And of course, whatever time your time zone is in. I want to first say thank you for all of the people who are joining us on this live stream. It's a fantastic opportunity for me to personally showcase our technology. And I like that you all know and see that I'm really involved in a way that I think a lot of CEOs just aren't involved, because we actually trade. And I've said this before. This is a team that's trading. We're doing it live, and we're in the game with you. And that's the only way that we can make advancements in technology that are going to be meaningful. So FN Finberth, I'm not exactly sure what you are looking at, which scanners specifically, but we catch them all. So whenever something you think is not being brought up, most likely it's simply a setting that you have, and I can't tell what you're using. And on these live streams, we don't spend too much time diving into the nitty-gritty of that. But by the way, watch this. It's going to be very important for later. Okay, this notification. But yeah, top gainers. So it's a question of reset and when it starts. I would just shoot an email and everybody can do that. Any one of our support staff can help you. But a lot of it, let me just bring up CANF. So let's just talk about this for a minute. And this is just a high level. While it is up 25% and up $1.26, look how far it has fallen over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. So it's been in a downtrend for, right after the gap up in 2 candles. So that's why you aren't seeing it the way you maybe would think. It's because in reality, it's been free falling. So that's something that people don't often think through exactly in terms of, remember, we are your number one source, not the other people. So if you're seeing it in the other places, it's because their filtering is very simple. Yeah, 24%, okay, but that's all this gap up candle. That's not the way you really see data, and I'm going to jump into it. But okay, so I want to show you guys something real quick. I'm going to move this away, and I'm going to share with you what have our, so you guys are mostly our subscribers. There's hundreds of you here that use our technology and give us feedback. And I want to share with you what are people talking about and what are they using that they are finding incredibly useful. And we have gotten extensive feedback on this channel called The Most, and mine is modified, by the way. So it's not going to be exactly like this channel in the channel bar, but this channel right now, people are just like, I'm blown away by it. Because it dials you into where you need to be from the point of view of everything that's moving right now. And I've adjusted the settings here on this channel so that I can show you how I money machine trade it, and we're going to get into that. But what I want to show you is these 2 windows, the most new highs. So this is always going to be showing you the thing that's going the most. And the beauty of trade ideas is that you have it in multiple different ways. So here you have the dailies, but here you have the 15 minutes. So if something starts rebounding, like for example, this thing was up here at 51, went all the way down to 49, and then it's just starting to rebound, and you're seeing, okay, it's done very well. Nebius, you know that I'm in this one. Crazy move today. But one thing I want to make sure you all know is you can right click in any of these windows and select clear, and then it kind of starts it over. Okay, let me do that again. Clear. So see, now it's going and showing you some things that you may not have seen because they're just simply not as strong as some of the previous ones that had been on there, but they're still very important to look at. So here you're seeing AMD has had, 479 new highs. Notice the picture-in-picture is so powerful. I mean, imagine if this is a rebound, okay, and you catch it, going from 199 to 251. This is why our picture-in-picture charting is so critical. But what I want to really showcase is something that I think a lot of you don't know, but pay really close attention. So number one, we said that this channel right here, it's called The Most, has been rated one of our most popular new channels because it dials you into whatever it is you're looking at. And for me personally, here I'm looking at consecutive bars. So I'm looking at strength. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I take advantage of this strength the right way? But here I'm looking at what's up the most over 30 minutes. And when it's green, this means that this stock is positive overall. But look at this move. And by the way, in terms of CANF, like, this is a move that you want to try to catch. I mean, I didn't catch this one, but look at this incredible move. And this talks to you about the power of the stock market and why this technology that you're seeing here just blows away all sorts of stuff on TradingView and everywhere else, because look at what we're doing. Look at what we're bringing to the table for you. Regardless of how it happens, we're showing you these are the stocks you want to be focusing on, because this is the now. They're moving the most right now. Look at this move. These stocks have had the most candles. So there's going to be some similarities, not all, but similarities. Look at this move right here. But it's all done for you. Notice again that the key component is you didn't have to figure it out. So I'm already running the money machine and I'm in some stuff. And this notification that you're seeing is so critical, because it's going to be persistent in our trading software coming very soon, so that you're going to get a whole, every premium subscriber is going to get a whole stream of messages that look like this, but having to do with how to take advantage of our AI signal that you may have missed. But in this particular case, it's telling me that I have been in RBNE for 21 minutes. I'm flat, and it's telling me, what should I do? So I'm going to say do nothing. But I'm going to show you something really quick here. So everyone, very, very important lesson you're about to get. Watch. So notice that in this channel right here, okay, in my most channel, I actually have Brokerage Plus in here. Okay, I have it in and I'm running. I have it on MM1. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So far I've had a really good trade in Italian on the money machine. And what it's doing is I'm trading these and these and these, but I'm doing it manually. Okay, and that's something that I want to make sure that you guys all understand. So I had a question, Dan, realistically, when will it be released? So Robert, I am on the version right now that we are building. From what I understand, this is done. Okay, but obviously to get it from this environment, which is where I am in, to a build, there's a whole process of making sure that everything is done right and cleaning. But from a testing and perspective, I believe that we are finished. And I thought that before, and still anything can happen. I mean, when you're dealing with server technology, there's always, caveats. But from what I understand, this is the version. Okay, and I'm on it, and I've been changing channels and all that sort of stuff. And hopefully, again, you won't see anything break. But even if this one breaks, it's because, again, the final one is being updated in, and all of the clean things to, again, fix all the bugs. They should already be in this one, but it's not 100%. But this is the build. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so you guys pump up. It's here. Okay. All right. So let's jump into what I've got going on here. I want to show you something. Okay. I'm running my manual positions, and this is something that we're adding as a strategy for everyone so that you don't have to set it up. But the idea is that these are trades that you are getting in yourself without automation. And you can, and we're going to make it so that you can do both. Use this, but also use automation as well. And we already have it, but I want to showcase, okay, and I'm going to turn this off, that the idea here is that you can take a stock, okay, and so like this one, perfect example. I'm going to hit advanced trade, MM1, 1,000 shares, buy the ask. And I just got in. Okay. So now if I go to my brokerage plus right here, you can see that I am in it. Oops, right here. Now, how did I get my brokerage plus inside of the most channel bar? That's what I'm going to show you. Okay. So by the way, Pramod, the most channel bar, you don't have to make it. It's already there. It is in your channels. So, but notice how I'm being prompted, because one of the things that the money machine is doing is that it's telling you what's going on. So I've been in this trade for 25 minutes and I'm down $63. So I'm going to tighten stop by 50%. I'm going to look at it. Let's take a look. What does this look like? Okay. So here we are, got in there, and this is just one of those things. It's had quite a run from 63 cents to 215, huge volatility, low float, it's trading 100% of the float. So there's a lot that could happen. But as I mentioned before, I'm a scouter. I'm using my money machine here to scout. And what it's telling me, like number one here, my energy trade, Battalion, which by the way is also an AI pick. So we had this one as a signal in our AI at approximately $5, I believe. I'm not even doing the AI channel today on our live stream. I'm focusing on some other things, but we nailed Battalion because if you guys are not aware, our software is looking at every night. We do an analysis of the footprints and fingerprints of big gainers. So we really look at all of the stocks that ran up 200, 300, 30, 20% in one day. And we look at the day before, like the week before, and the day that it happens, and we create a profile, a volume and price-driven signature that only our software can do, because we have our own database that we build real-time data on the fly, where we can see unusual volume and all sorts of different things in ways that most people can't. And that's why you're using our software. And as a result, you are getting to the moves more quickly with our AI. And that's one of the things that once we release this version, our huge focus is going to be on giving you a better way to trade the AI signals through messaging and all sorts of other things that we're doing. But let me show you how. Here I have, a channel. By the way, if you go to new dot channel bar, I'm going to show you something. I'm not going to open one, but this is for the gentleman who was asking about how do I make the most channel. So this is a brand new dot channel bar, and all the channels are already there. So you would just click right here, and that's how you would open it up. Okay. So now I'm going to show you something under how did I get Brokerage Plus to be in this dot channel bar. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say save and share to the cloud. The most with B plus. Let me get rid of the quotes. Save and share. Copy. Okay. So I'm going to paste this into our chat. This is a cloud link. You guys all know that we've been in the cloud before the cloud was popular. This allows us to do something really incredible, which is I have all these things already dialed in, and I just gave you a cloud link. All you have to do is go to File, Load from Cloud, and you should be able to open exactly what I have there You should try it if you haven't done it. But the idea is that that will give you the exact thing that you are seeing here, the highs and lows, the chart, and of course another tab where you can see the brokerage plus. Okay, but how did I do it? Tools, options. Okay, notice layout. Okay, and I checked this thing right here. Open in doc window. So when I opened, I went to new and I said brokerage plus, and then it opened in whichever doc you are focused on. So that is how I did it. I'm going to show you again. Tools, options. By default, open in doc window is not checked. But once I checked it, it opens everything that you want open in your doc window. Okay. So I'm going to show you something. Like, for example, I've got this alert window that's not in this doc. Okay. And I'm going to see if I can do it the right way. Whenever I do stuff like this, it's always a little bit tricky because I haven't practiced it with Brad yet. But I'm going to say save and share to the cloud. Copy. Okay, I'm going to move this over here and I'm going to click on this doc that's open. I'm going to say new alert window. I'm going to hit OK. See, like this breaking out on volume just happened. Okay, it's okay. Watch. Oops. Hold on. So hold on. First, I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to, let's see where we want it. Okay, so now that's right here. So I'm going to go back to, I actually should have pasted the link in a different order, but I'm going to go back to the other window, save and share to the cloud. Oops. File. Load from cloud. And where'd it go? Maybe just a simple color. Okay. One more time. I'm going to delete this. Brad's watching. I'm like one of his worst students on great ideas. Brad, I am. Copy. Collaborate. Paste. Most likely is, again, Brad, just my stupid version, but this is the one just so everyone can see it. Right click. Copy. collaborate. I'm going to delete this stupid thing. Control V. See, this is the highs and lows. Incredible. No, but it's doing the right thing. Oh. Okay. Sorry, guys. I did it the right way. There's just nothing that's happened yet. The last thing that happened on here was at 9:16. This is a very, okay, here we go. Gem. I gotta tell you guys, it's always funny to me when I do these. Like, I always run into some stuff that even I've never ever seen before. Okay. And it's incredible. Okay. Sorry. That's not the point. Okay, so here, I'm gonna have this window. If I just give you guys the cloud link, you should be able to open it. Let's post it here. So duplicate into the most. That's a good idea. And now we have, so this is, by the way, something that you guys should be thinking about here. Even though I was fumbling around with that thing until Brad, who's watching this and crying to himself, like, I can't believe this guy doesn't know how to use our own software. But notice that I created a window here where I have 1, 2, 3 windows right here. So I have one that's doing similar price patterns to whatever chart I'm looking at. So, like, for example, if I come over here, similar price patterns to BW. BW is the only one. Let's look at KOS. So KOS, this is what it looks like on the daily, and this is what it looks like intraday. Let's look at AXTI, same pattern, just different price. So this all works. And the power here that you're seeing is that I'm able to utilize our tab functions to just really be able to peruse different types of things that are happening. And then once again, if I want to, like this type of pattern, I really like that. So remember, I'm already trading this on Money Machine 1 is running, but for my manual trades. So I'm looking at this, I see size on the bid, I'm gonna buy the ask, and I just did it. Okay. By the way, this is our new advanced order ticket. This is a condensed kind of level 1, level 2 synopsis. You can see the size on the bid. You can see the size on the offer, the spread. So this is all coming. So here it's again telling me what's going on. 14 minutes, tighten stop. And if I come over here, and you can see my bull trade is here. My battalion, which is the one that's doing really well so far. And, I've taken some losers. This happens. But I'm using the money machine. So what is the advantage of doing it this way? I want to talk about this a little bit. So lots of people jump right into the automation. Okay. So I'm going to get back into this one. and just at 300 shares, buy the ask. Here I am. Okay. So lots of people say, Dan, what is the advantage of what you are doing here? You're just manually getting in and out. Well, I'm manually entering, that is for certain. But remember that once I set this up in the money machine takes over the risk management. Okay. So see, I'm protected, all the stops are in. Everything is being managed for me. And what this allows me to do is to really not focus on every single detail. Pepe, I know, like, listen, I cry myself when I see myself doing the stuff I'm doing. You know what's funny? It's like there's so much power in this thing because we've been building this for 2 decades, and we have made it so powerful that even and I'm not a programmer, but obviously I use this technology quite a bit. I can sometimes get lost in it too, and this funny stuff only happens on webinars, so that people can see, oh look, Dan, he's doing this stuff, but he makes mistakes as well. I do. Okay, so once again, let's look at being able to sort here. And this channel gives you the ability to always be aware of whatever is starting to make the move. Like, for example, this is a perfect example where these three are all positive, but this is a pullback. How do I know? We'll look at the color. Boom. One of my favorite types of trades are here. So I come over here, I have my 300. Actually here I'll make it 1,000. I'm going to buy the ask 3-cent spread. I'm going to join the bid. So by the way, that's something else. Like in this particular case, let's see if I get hit on a bid, and I'm in simulation mode. But I'm also just not always jumping in, because here, if I jumped in, I would instantly have been, and you can see what's going on, instantly at an 8-cent loss. But you can let things come to you, and this technology, join bid, buy, ask, sell, bid, join market, cancel order, it allows you to take advantage of all of this. So I'm going to cancel order. I'm going to buy the ask, just so you can see it. Boom. Because why am I doing this? I'll tell you very simply. If you go to my money machine here, you can see that my big trade where I had gains is Battalion. Okay, and that's an energy play. So I'm just contemplating that possibly in this particular case, this might do something similar. Very, just making simple deductions. Okay. So in this particular case, some of the summary information of what I'm trying to get you guys to see is that I am able to use any channel, and I can put Brokerage Plus in it without having to resize a whole ton of everything. Okay, another energy play. This is what that looks like. All the positions are managed. If you look at my settings here, after 10 minutes, I get a notification. Those are the notifications you see. I want to have at least a $20 gain, or to be prompted to maybe do something. And this is just a way that it allows you to stay focused on the position. That's all. And this is the same technology that you will hopefully soon see on system-wide. Okay. So here we go, Nebius. 10. So this channel, like I said, I think I did what I wanted to do in terms of showcasing that we have had. And remember, when you click on this channel on your channel bar, you're gonna have more windows in here. I just did this for the demo. I sized it so I have more room for Brokerage Plus, and I gave this to everyone. So everyone knows that this particular setup, you all have it. It's one of the links that I provided. So now I'm going to show something to everyone that I think you may not be aware of, but I want you to think about it. And this is another way that we're going to be using the money machine. So I'm going to show you something. Okay. So this is another way that you can customize the channel. So this is our explosive winners channel. And of course, this is going to show you everything that's making huge moves. Stuff like this happens all the time. Okay. And by the way, here's one, where on the opening candle, 133, all the way back to below $1, all the way back up to 139, back to $1, and here you are. I mean, you're trading in 40% swings. This is why you're at Trade Ideas, because Trade Ideas shows you this. But I'm going to show you something that you may not be aware of, and I think it's valuable, and I want you to be able to take advantage of it just like I have. So I'm going to stop this race. So stop it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to show race setup. And I'm going to go from minutes run from 10 to 160. Actually, I'm going to go 220. I mean, it's not really as much of a difference for, well, here, let's make it 30. And I'm going to explain why I'm doing it this way. So I just created a race, and by default, our races are 10-minute races because they show you all the stuff that just pops in, pops out. This way, it's a very fast-paced motif. But in this particular view, so now what I've done is I've created a race view that's going to move a lot slower, but you're going to really be able to catch the ones that are starting to make the move. And I don't know, like this one, I mean, that's a breakout. So I'm going to advance trade 300 MM1. I'm going to look at what's going on here. I'm going to buy the ask. Limited size. I'm actually going to move this risk to like right here. In this particular example, I just want to show you the risk dynamics. When something's moving at 100%, the volatility, you have to expect the volatility to be quite high. So in this particular case, I'm basically saying that I will readjust my whole concept here. This whole move fades. But if it doesn't, something like this can, it can run up 2-3 times as a very small float. So think about this for just a minute. It's traded 183 million. This is where I always joke about our stock market. It's a little bit fishy. 183 million on a $12 million float. That means this is that means ownership has changed over 10 times, quote unquote. Just to be fair. Do I really think that happened? No, but you have all sorts of options traders and rehypothecations. But at the same time, just be aware that 183 million shares have changed hands. This is another stock that has done something similar. Turner. I mean, it did a reverse split, and I'm not involved in this one at all. But it has a float of 1.8 million because it did a 10 for 1, okay, and is already traded, quote unquote, almost all of the float. So float and volatility, they go hand in hand. Two X ETFs, remember there's a channel for that. But what I really wanted to make sure that you see is that I changed the race from 10 minutes, which goes very quick in and out, to really like visually, once something goes here, you will, it can separate itself in a way that the shorter time frames just don't let you see, if that makes sense. So, by the way, in case you are interested, you want to know what something's doing. Fiberglass, reinforced plastics, I do not know. Cash 2.4 million, float 7 million, so it's already traded 100% of the float. You know, these are the kind of things that, let's take a look at what this looks like. 300, 800, okay, I'm going to pass on that. But I see it, and I see the movement, OBAI. Look at this. I've told you guys that when you see something like this take place on stocks like this, that could mean that it's in play. So I will buy the X. Notice I've shown you that, you know, that there's different styles for different people, but I really believe that counter trend reversals, if they are able to be caught, and the only way to do it the right way is with risk management. If you can catch a counter trend reversal and really have that reversal run, those are some of the biggest gains in the market. I mean, again, you can potentially see what's going on here. This thing has gotten obliterated, but I'm taking a very small position just to see. AI-powered mobile applications for personal security. Okay. I have no idea what that is. 9 million revenues, 26 market cap. Don't forget, all this information that you really need to make critical decisions, it's in the header, and I think our header is outstanding in terms of data. So now this, you know, I'm not too into trading the Chinese names that much. But of course, for money machine and simulated trading, I don't mind doing that. And let's go back to this. So this is a short ETF, so I'm not going to get into that one. But we're in this one, and that's a positive one. Let's take a look at what we got here. Okay. Just, you know, the market's been very stable, nothing too much. But what I'm doing here is, and I've said this before, I'm working on risk management. I'm working on identifying critical things that are going up the most. So here you're talking about change from the open. ZipRecruiter. Okay, so you see like this pattern right here. I've always been a fan of this one, so I'm going to buy 300 at the ask. And I want to explain why. So whenever a stock is doing this, just visually speaking, it creates a nice risk profile where it ran up. I didn't buy the highs at 220. It's pulled back quite a bit, but it's stable. So now I really don't have to risk a lot. I can almost, you know, risk $27 to see if a big move starts to happen, potentially back to the highs. And this is a kind of stock that's kind of interesting. You know, look at 448 million in revenues, market cap of 149. So always be, you know, I like to make decisions kind of on the fly like this, and this money machine exercise teaches me to not hesitate. But there are certain things like that should instantly show you something is up. Okay. And when something has 448 million in revenues, they're losing a little bit. You know, let's see what they did. It's just a hiring platform for small and medium-sized businesses. Well, you know, if you believe in the American turnaround, this is the kind of thing that could really go quite a bit. And in 28 days, it's flat, so it's not really done anything. But let's look at 1 year. Look at that. From $5 to 178 up to 240 pulled back. So you see what I'm saying? This is one of these things that I personally am always looking at trade ideas to point me in this direction. And that's and it did it. And that's why I'm in it. And I'm showing you guys by example that energy, here I am in that zip, a couple of other ones. But the idea here is that if you are not actively sharpening your skills, so what I'm doing with the money machine, the way I'm working with it right now, is kind of like being in the gym, you know, and professional athletes, just from a metaphorical perspective, they obviously play the sport that they're being paid to play and they're very good at it, but they maintain that skill level by being in the gym. And I think you need to think about the fact that the money machine is your super training set. Okay. You are in the gym. I'm in the gym here. And what is the gym telling me? Well, the gym is telling me that, hey, whatever it is you're doing, you're kind of doing it pretty good. You know, obviously this trade, let's take a look at it real quick. I caught something that I caught, you know, worked out well. And what I caught was huge gap down and kind of like that V pattern. And I wasn't early because, you know, I'm trying to get into this stuff either right at our live stream or before. So this one, I got into it right before because I wanted to, you know, just showcase that I'm working on this all the time. I'm not just doing it for the live stream to, you know, to just show that this is something that's an integral part of my everyday trading experience. All right, let's do this. Now that we got 15 minutes left, and what I've showcased so far is that you can change the race time by right click and going race setup. Okay. So here I made longer term races, and you can see I'm in this one. I'm not positive in it. Well, yeah, okay, $30. There I am. So now I can come in here, do that, minimize the risk a little bit. So it's just a different perspective. And here it is in here. And this one, I'm in this one as well. It was brought up to me by one of you gentlemen, so I appreciate that. But the incredible volatility and opportunity that you are able to see in trade ideas and take advantage of, this is what we are taking to the next level. So today, the highlight was use different time frames on races so that you can see things really, you can see the patterns form in a more gradual way. Okay. So, by the way, new news is in this version, so that you know. brand new, much more improved, higher end news feature. And what I want to do right now, yeah, OS. So OS is probably one of our top money machine users, and he's self-trained. I love it. And I really like what he's saying there. You know, I actually have in my own setup, I have one where I have it on kind of like 30-minute races, but then I have really a whole day race as well. And you know that you can right click, you can duplicate into free floating, you can do lots of stuff here. What I want to do right now is before I show you the next thing that we have coming, which is going to be, again, quite amazing. I want to answer some questions. I know it's a very high turnout today for this live stream for us. I really appreciate all the people that are here. Fire away. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to ask anything, and then I'm going to show you one more thing that we are going to be bringing to market in OS. This is something that somebody like at your skill level, and Pepe, you guys are going to really, really like this quite a bit. So questions. And again, and if not, I'll jump right into the next thing. Are there any questions? Is there anything that I can add? Anything I can discuss, share? What would you like to see? Okay, and it's fine if there isn't any. That's also totally okay. I mean, we covered quite a bit of technology. So once again, AAIFF, BDMD. Notice I am in this. Okay. Not in this one. Should have been in this one. This is the exact kind of play that I look for. So this is kind of like the Warren Buffett sort of concept, you know, when there's blood on the street, when everyone is selling, this is panic selling. I like to buy after the panic sell. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of showcase a new, it's been a while since we've actually, Pepe, you're going to like this. It's been a while since we've added filters and ways to search for things that we haven't done before. And myself and Brad have been looking for something, and we finally put a spec out together. And let me tell you guys a little bit about it. And it is going to come. It's not in this version. It's being worked on, but just contemplate this. So here you see a stock that's gapping down. You know, it's kind of a big gap down. Trades, makes a low on this 5-minute candle, makes a low, makes a low, makes a low, makes another low, makes another low. Okay. This candle did not make a new low, did not make a new low, did not make a new low, did not. It hasn't made a low since this candle. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a filter where you can say minutes or time since new high or new low. And it's going to be the daily, but then there's going to be a 60-minute version of it. And what's going to happen is you can then say, okay, I want to see something that has not made a new low in 15 minutes. And then you can tie that into position and ranges and things like that. But this is a new filter that's going to help you really catch the turns. And the same things for, let me see, hold on a second, remove this, and let's go to Coinbase. So Coinbase has not made a new high in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And you can say, show me something that hasn't made a new high in 40 minutes, but is still close to the high. And then you can decide, well, here you can, do you want to buy it? I mean, it looks like it could still be very strong or shorted. I mean, that's all up to you. But the idea is that this time filter is going to give you a lot more creative ways to spot turns and pivots. So Ostrus asked the question, and it's a great question. The new advanced trade screen will always prompt you that the trade may execute immediately in a buy at the ask or buy at the bid or sell at the bid? And the answer is no. Notice here I have this. So this is how you would check it. And what I'm going to do is let's go to this. I'm going to find something that looks decent that I'm not in yet. Okay. Alloy. Okay. So if I don't have this check, okay, and I say buy at the ask, and by the way, in this particular case, I wouldn't do that because look at the spread. Make sure you guys know that when you're getting into these, these are high flyers, 15-cent spread. I mean, you'd be better off trying to short the offer. Okay. So, like for example, in this case, if I hit buy at the ask, see, then this pops up. Okay. But if I go right here and I hit buy at the ask, it will just buy the ask immediately without prompting me. It'll just send the order. So for demo purposes, let's do it. So you see, and remember, this is designed to, this is fully functional with live brokerage software. So these tools are meant for very fast scalp type trading situations where you are not wanting to be clicking or pressing extra buttons. So it's an option for you. Auto send or not auto send is simply a way that you can decide how fast you want to get in here. And again, notice that this thing will adjust. So you can see there's quite a bit of size on the offer. 2 people on the bid, but with virtually no size. And then the idea is that this way you know exactly what you're getting into ahead of time. So let's look at how some of this stuff looks like. So let me show you a stock that's very active. You can just really see the power of this advanced trade ticket. Just watch it in real time for a minute. And let me show you something else if you haven't seen it. So I'm hoping the build is going to be happening either late today or tomorrow. And then we're going to test it just internally. Obviously, this is the build that's, once it's the build, this is the beta. But we need to test it because it's going from this environment, the Visual Studio, to a real build. And once that takes place Monday, you should have it for the next webinar. So it's going to be pretty cool. So remember, time and sales is in here. Okay. As soon as trades come in, you see them. So let's look at another stock, TMQ. Let's go to something that moves quite a bit so you can really see the movement. Oops. So this is being updated probably about 10 times a second or so, just so, in case you're interested to know. And green prints are the offer. In between is white and red prints are on the bid. $0.02 spread, 5 cent spread. Again, very, very fast new data. And this is one of the reasons why it's taken a little bit longer, you guys, is that, you know, we've completely rewritten our server architecture for real-time data. Hopefully, Pepe, you're appreciating this stuff. I mean, this was not the original design case for trade ideas, as alerts were happening about once a second, whereas this is like just, you know, screaming. And different stocks behave in different ways, of course. So this one trades quite a bit less than a Tesla. But if you look at an Apple, notice, very important, okay? Even though I'm doing something totally different right now in terms of what I'm showcasing, my money machine notifications are keeping me up to speed with what's going on. So here, I've been in this trade for 22 minutes, up $6. I'm just going to say do nothing. But do you see that by this prompt, it allows you to stay focused and not get caught in a trade that's going against you? Yeah, this execution panel, the advanced trade ticket, is something that we've been working really hard on. And we work with people who are very, very advanced order entry people. And this is designed specifically for their scalp type trading. So you can see join ask, buy ask, sell bid, join bid. You know, you can adjust stuff quickly, you know, and of course, auto or not auto send. So let's take a look at where we are. Once again, in terms of what I've demonstrated here for the live stream, you guys see that I used a technique to have multiple alert windows in one area. So this way I'm just able to focus on checking. I'm able to focus on all this stuff and see what's going on. By the way, the advanced order ticket can move, so you can still see the picture in picture. See that? I mean, this thing right here, I mean, you guys know that this is what I like to do. So I'm actually going to set a price alert right here. Call this the big turn. And now I'm all set. I'm actually going to move it a little bit lower right here. So you got what do you have in this build that's coming? You have the new data, new advanced order entry. We are also very close to full TradeStation integration. So right now, brokers, we have E-Trade, we have Interactive Broker, Alpaca, E-Trade, and Interactive Brokers, and of course, our paper trading, but TradeStation is about to be added. So be aware of that. And then this channel, again, was designed by myself and Brad based on a lot of feedback from our users in terms of just dialing in their search for everyone's complaint is, I never want to miss it. Okay. And here's this thing. You look at this move from 10. And this has all been going on since we've been here. From 10 to 11. You know, I've been cruising around all sorts of, you know, windows. But let's just look at something. Remember, I showed you this race. By the way, you will have the ability to change this from this view, 10. So this is in order of percent. But you'll be able to change it to the number. Okay. And look, Don, you would have seen it the whole time. Like, this is just so much bigger than everything else. So remember, we changed this to 30 minutes and there's 2 minutes left because I started at about 33 and we're just past the hour. So change the time, make it longer, see more data. All of this is coming. The version is basically ready. So we're ready to do it with you. Highly successful demo of what can be done if you apply yourself and do it. Any final questions? We're at the top of the hour, and I think this was a great one, you guys. Huge turnout today. So net trade, what do you mean? I'm not sure. I'm so old. I'm not sure I understand some questions. Yeah, shoot us an email with a little bit more information. Again, when I read your question, I appreciate me being held in high regard. I try my best. Always want to be able to give you guys access to the management and the team. And any way we can help, we will. I think this is the end of the live stream now. You guys have a great rest of your. Okay. Man, sometimes I can't even I get it. Rip, man, thank you. I think I'm turning retarded in my old age. I swear. But sometimes I'm like, I read it and I'm like, what? I'm still a real person. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. All right, you guys. Love you all. Thank you so much. Share with your friends. You are our venture capital. We've never raised 1 penny from Silicon Valley. We did it all ourselves, and we couldn't do it without you. Really appreciate everybody being here, and I will see you next week when we have it out. And hopefully everyone can experience the incredible stuff I'm showcasing. Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.